Good afternoon from Skootamatta. I'm going to say it wrong. Skootamatta Lake. It's about 1:10 in the afternoon on Tuesday. I would have been here sooner. I was hoping to be here sooner. A lot of problems on the QEW driving in from Hamilton this morning. That put me back by about an hour. But here I am, ready to unload soon and get out onto this lake here. I have no idea where the campsites are. This area is all Crown land. So I'll be doing a bit of exploring to try and find where I can camp. There are sites on here that people use all the time. And I'm a geocacher. I know that there's 13 geocaches on this lake. And I'm assuming that some of them are on the places where people camp. But we'll unload the car and we'll get out and we'll just see what happens. The clouds don't look very good, but the forecast is just for cloudy for the next couple of days. No rain until Thursday. So hopefully that will stay true. Canoes are ready. I'll have my life jacket on shortly. I've never had to use the bear spray, but I bring it with me all the time now. And maps. And just letting the world know, actually a few friends know that I'm here using my new Zoldio unit. And so they can track me, and if I have any problems, I know who they can help me out. So off I go. Well, I paddled down about 1 kilometer, so it's not very far in, about 15-20 minutes for me on a leisurely paddle. The end of the lake is only 1 kilometer that way, so about halfway down. I passed by a few spots where I think there might have been camping before, but from those points, one's about 200 meters in from the launch area. You can still see the road, and you might hear people if they're at the cottages that are on the other side. So I just paddled down a bit. This is a site that obviously has been used before. Fire pit here, small makeshift table. Somebody's been nice and left a few pieces of firewood. And took a little bit of walk up here, and I'm kind of by surprise by what I found. Walking up a slight hill here. And something you don't always get on a Crown land site, but it's well used, and I have a thunderbox here. And I'm pretty sure up here I'll have a nice view of the lake, part of the lake I just paddled. I think I have his and hers. I'm at the, my campsite will be at the south end. This is the north end of the island. Not sure if you could land a canoe here. No, there's all rocks on this side. Yeah, the best spot to land on here is on the south end. Back in February at the Outdoor Adventure Show, picked up a new backpack here. And I must say that I like this one better than the one I was using before. A lot better. It's easier for me to handle. The other one that I was using was actually not for canoeing, but more for backpacking. This one is definitely meant for canoeing. It's easier with the pull tabs here and one at the back, right there, to get it in and back out of the canoe. And actually I found it, I put it on at home to try it out and walked up and down the street a few times, and it's easier on the back too. It's easier to carry. It's not any lighter than what I had before, but it just carries better. So I'm liking that. And it's the second year for my Novacraft Trapper. It's a 12-foot solo canoe, about 34 pounds. And on this trip, there's no portaging, so it doesn't matter what kind of boat you bring in. But last year when I had it out and did a few portages, this was a lot easier. In fact, I was out on a trip last fall, and left my yoke at my campsite and just paddled down to the next portage, not thinking that I was going to actually carry the boat over. I ended up doing so, and of course you have to put without a yoke, you're putting your head on the bottom of the canoe and carrying it over. And even for that 300-meter portage I did there, it still was okay. Yeah, I had a bit of a sore neck, but that's part of the course for that. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It's a nice campsite. I'm going to set up here. There's no bugs out. About 2:15 in the afternoon. No bugs, unlike when I was out last week, just after 3 o'clock. And I've made up my home for the next few days. No bug. I don't feel any bugs out, so I'm not setting up the bug shelter. I do have a tarp though, because even though they're not calling for that liquid sunshine, it looks awful cloudy out. But everything I need for home is here. Excellent view, lots of hammock time. Canoe is all tied up. My tarp is up. And for those of you in the nods, I'm a scouting friend. 2 half hitches all around, basically. That's about the easiest knot that you can teach. I use my ropes are about 3 or 4 feet long. That way I can just tie them as I see fit for the trees that are around. I use sheep bends. Again, I know in scouting we're taught to use a reef knot, but for this kind of tying, actually sheep bend is best. And at the end here, another easy knot to teach, and it's called a slippery guy or a charbuckle. And that way I can loosen and tighten it. And again, it's another easy knot. My tent, this is the 3rd year I've had this tent by Fiata. I actually bought it online after I saw them at the booth at Outdoor Adventure Show a few years ago. I like it. It's listed as a 2-man tent, and it actually is a 2-man tent. It's about 4 pounds, so you can get ones that are lighter, but it is a bit wider, so it actually is room for 2 people. The other thing about it that I like is when you open the vestibule, that these little ties here are just a little bit longer than you get on the most popular brand, so it's easier to tie up. And home, sleeping bag, rated for 0 degrees. They're calling for a low of about 8 or 10 degrees tonight, and they always say to have a sleeping bag that's rated for 5 degrees cooler than what you're expecting. Bought this about 4 years ago off of Angelo at Adventure Attic. He has since retired. The store is still open, but he's retired, and I hope he's enjoying his retirement. A lot of my camping gear over the years I bought from him, including this nice pillow, which 30 years ago I would have called myself a wimp for bringing it, but not anymore. And some reading material. Star Trek, I'm a Trekkie, and of course every night in the evening I will read a verse out of the Bible as well. So, but I think right now it's just time to get out here and use the hammock. That's what I came for. Like I said, there's about 13 geocaches on this lake, and I am into geocaching with about 17,000 finds. There's one just over there, actually. I'll get that probably tomorrow. I passed by, I think, 5 of them on the way down, and the other ones are just down here ways. The furthest one away is 1 kilometer at the dam, and we'll go in there tomorrow. Right now I'm just going to relax. That's what I came out here for, is to relax and enjoy the quiet. That's why I go canoeing. Just shortly after 5:30. We'll start supper soon. And tonight's supper actually will be tacos. So I'm just dehydrating some sour cream and some hamburger here. I just bought this this pot just a few months ago. I've used it once before on a trip. It worked out well. However, this time I see it's missing the little flap here to hold to be able to lift up the lid. It fell off. It's not in my pack. Must be at home somewhere, but we'll have to make do with that. However, we'll be having meals soon. Got some taco shells here, and brought in the cheesecloth. I got some cheese in here, which I'll be slicing up, and that'll be good supper for today. Hamburg, sour cream, and some old cheddar. I often bring lettuce in, but not this time. It's about 6:30 at night. Just finished supper and enjoying the quiet. And compared to last week, where we were swamped by black flies and mosquitoes, there's nothing out here. And there's no bugs here hardly at all. I don't have the bug shelter up, just the tarp. And this is my view tonight. Gorgeous. Having a tea and just relaxing. My first time here. Just a bit of a recap. I didn't get in the water until about 1:30. I had problems driving with on the QW with a traffic accident, but wasn't sure what the campsites are. But this one was easy to tell because there's a table here and a pre-made fire pit. So obviously people have camped here before, and of course I found a hunting box here. Tomorrow I'll go out and find some geocaches. There's a dam at the end here. See if there's any kind of waterfalls I can have a look out there and find some geocaches and try and find where some other campsites are so we mark them down for a future trip. Thanks for watching another Camper 69 video. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate any comments that you leave. If you like the video, then click on the like, and thanks very much for watching. Bye bye now.